This is the United Nations. I'm Matthew Russell Lee, and I started covering the UN in 2005. I covered the UN's failings in Sri Lanka, Burundi, Yemen, and UN corruption. That got me thrown out of the UN. In 2016, I sought to cover an event in the UN press briefing room. When I was told that the event was closed, or for some journalists but not others, I asked to be shown any piece of paper to that effect, and said that if a guard asked me to leave, I would. Finally, a guard told me that the spokesman wanted me to leave, and I did. 3 weeks later, without a single conversation or opportunity to be heard, I was handed a letter from the head of the UN Department of Public Information, Cristina, ordering me to leave in 2 hours. I was still working, covering a Security Council meeting on Syria, when 8 UN security officers pushed me down the escalator, around the traffic circle, and out onto First Avenue, throwing my laptop on the sidewalk. They tore off my UN badge, accreditation, and the next day when I came in, I was told that I was banned from UN premises worldwide. Later, they moved 5 boxes of my files onto the street in front of the UN, and they're trying to give Inner City Press's office to a state media that rarely comes in and never asks questions. There's no right to appeal and no definitive process to be reinstated. For 10 months now, every time I want to cover the General Assembly, I have to get a minder who stands next to me as I interview diplomats. This is censorship. The new free UN Coalition for Access believes there must be due process for journalists, a content-neutral accreditation system, and appeals rights. Until then, it's just censorship.